What's up guys, it's me Anmurev again, and for today's video I'm going to talk about all of the devil fruits in the One Piece series, and I'm going to talk about their type, their function, and their strength and weaknesses. And I know it's a lot to take in, so that's why dividing it into parts, and this is part 1 of this series. Okay, so I won't be talking or categorizing them by type, but by the sequence of how they appeared in the anime, because if I categorize it by type, then obviously new ones would pop up soon, so it's better this way. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and please like this video and share this video, and be sure to stay tuned. So let's go. So, first is we have the famous Gomu Gomu no Mi, or Gum Gum fruit, which is owned by none other than our own Monkey D. Luffy. The Gomu Gomu no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that gives the user's body the properties of rubber, making the user a rubber human. The fruit's major strength, as demonstrated by Luffy, is that the person's body can stretch like rubber even when the ability user himself is nullified. It also makes them almost entirely immune to blunt attacks, including hand-to-hand combat, bullets, or even cannonballs. The user's ability to stretch and twist like rubber to extreme lengths not only makes him immune to injuries that originate from such, but it also allows him to even rebound, that can give him a great advantage in or out of battle. The fruit enables all parts of the consumer's body to behave like rubber, including organs. As such, Luffy has a bigger appetite than the average human, eating more than anyone else in his crew and always digesting it before anyone else is hungry again. His elastic properties also grant him some resistance towards underwater pressure, allowing him to fight while surrounded by underwater environment. Owing to rubber-like natural insulating properties, the user is also immune to electrical attacks and is also able to hit an electric Logia user without haki. Despite all the great advantages Luffy gets by using his fruit, he can still be hurt by cutting or stabbing attacks, as well as non-physical attacks such as fire or ice. One major risk of Luffy's powers is that he is vulnerable to attacks in the moments when his limbs are stretched to their limit, as Buggy and Kuro both demonstrated early on the series. Next is we have the Bara Bara no Mi, or the Slice Slice fruit, and is currently owned by Buggy the Clown. So the Bara Bara no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to be immune to slashing attacks and to be able to split their own body apart into pieces and control the said pieces however they wish, mostly by levitating them away from the user's main body, making the user a splitting human. The fruit's major strength, as demonstrated by Buggy, is that the user becomes permanently immune to damage from being cut or pierced regardless in what manner, be it vertical, horizontal, or otherwise. Instead of being wounded or killed from such attacks, the user's body simply becomes sliced into pieces. In this state, the user is still alive and can control his sliced up body, and they can manipulate the sliced up pieces to either reattach themselves back together or execute unique attacks. Though the user is immune to slashing and piercing attacks, they are still susceptible to other forms of engagement. This can be a major weakness even when the user is split up, as an enemy can do all sort of things to the other body parts. This includes groin kicks and tying up most of the user's body parts. The user can only control his separated pieces from end up to a certain distance. There's a cutoff point as to how far the user can use his separated parts. If a part goes any further from the cutoff point, the user loses all control of that part. This levitation and the use consciously using that body part altogether. The distance is a 200 bara bara diameter circle around the point where the person touches the ground. So yeah, the point is there's a 200-meter distance to where he can fly his body parts around. Next is we have the Subi Subi no Mi, or the Slip Slip fruit, which is owned by Alvida. The Subi Subi no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that makes the user's body slippery, which in turn makes most attacks and all objects slide off their body, protecting the user from harm in most situations. As seen with Alvida, if one is overweight in any way, they will become slim by having the excess fat slip off. This fruit makes the user immune to attacks either by weapon or by hand-to-hand combat, as those attacks will just slip off their body. The fruit's powers also extend to whatever items or clothing the user is wearing. This was very apparent when a chunk of rubber simply bounced off Alvida's body despite the fact that it hit her while she was still wearing her coat. As a side effect of the fruit's power, all of the eater's excess fat slips off, granting them a much skinnier physique. Despite this, the user seems to retain their full strength, as Alvida can still wield her iron mace with ease. This loss of fat appears to be permanent, as Alvida did not revert to her previous appearance upon coming into contact with the sea stone, which negates the effects of devil fruits. Next is we have the Moko Moko no Mi, or the Smoke fruit, which is owned by Smoker. The Moko Moko no Mi is a Logia type devil fruit that allows the user to create, control, and transform into smoke at will. Like some of the other Logia type devil fruits, this one allows its user to fly by turning his body or the lower part of it into smoke, greatly enhancing his movement and speed. The main offensive capabilities of the fruit stem from its user's ability to change the density of the smoke produced at will. This allows Smoker to surround his targets with his intangible smoke and then solidify it to grasp them. It would seem that when confronted by fire, they will cancel out one another. Other than that, no specific natural weaknesses has yet to be seen. With his current mastery over his powers, the only reliable way to injure Smoker is through the use of Haki, as Hancock did during their short battle, as through the standard devil fruit weaknesses. Next is we have the Hiso Hiso no Mi, or the Whisper fruit, owned by Apis. The Hiso Hiso no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to understand the heart of an animal, in other words, allowing him or her to speak to animals. While the fruit's power enables the user to telepathically communicate with animals, it should be noted that its influence does not extend to controlling the will of the animal nor the animal itself. There is also the curse of not being able to swim like all other devil fruits. It is also known if the user can use the devil fruit's ability to call for help from undersea creatures in any circumstances. Next is we have the Kama Kama no Mi, or Sickle fruit, owned by Eric. The Kama Kama no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that gives the user long sharp nails that they can use to create slicing air blades. The main strength of this fruit is that it lengthens and sharpens the user's nails, which are capable of creating razor sharp gusts capable of cleaving through even hard materials like rock. By Eric's claims, his wind blades are as sharp as a Meito. The nails themselves can also be used to slice up opponents in close quarter combat, as seen when Eric cut a retreating marine. This fruit does not seem to have any specific weaknesses aside from the standard devil fruit weaknesses, although Eric is seen filing his nails, hinting that he has to keep them sharp in order to use his power. Next is we have the Bomu Bomu no Mi, or the Bomb fruit, owned by Gem, or we all know him better as Mr. 5. The Bomu Bomu no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to make any part of his body explode, whether it be hair, mucus, or breath, making the user a bomb human. It may seem similar to the Pamu Pamu no Mi, which is Gladius fruit, but we will get there in the future videos. The fruit's main strength is that the user can turn their body parts into a bomb with no harm done to the user. The explosive quality extends to emissions such as mucus and breath. The fruit also grants immunity against all other explosions. However, it seems that the ability only activates when the user initiates contact or at will, as both Zoro and Luffy have been seen hitting Gem without him exploding. Other than that, this fruit has no apparent weaknesses aside from the standard devil fruit weaknesses. So next is we have the Kiro Kiro no Mi, or the Kilo fruit, which is owned by Mikita, or best known as Miss Valentine. The Kiro Kiro no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to change their weight from 1 to 10,000 kilograms without in any way affecting the overall size of their bodies. The fruit's main strength is that it allows the user to change their weight at will. They can go from weighing 1 kilogram, light enough to float on the wind with an umbrella, to 10,000 kilograms, dropping with intense force to crush their opponents. Even with one weight's increase, it seems as though the user of the fruit can move normally instead of being weighed down by their own mass. Though the fruit grants the ability to change one's own weight, it does not seem to change the user's density, since Mikita was knocked away by Nami and Vivi while weighing 10,000 kilograms before she could crash down on Usopp. The Kiro Kiro no Mi is an inferior power compared to that of the Tanta no Mi due to the difference in body weight increase, specifically by 1,000 times. Aside from these, the user is affected by the standard devil fruit weaknesses. Next is we have the Hana Hana no Mi, or the Flower fruit, and it is owned by the devil child Nico Robin. The Hana Hana no Mi is a Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to replicate and sprout pieces of their body from the surface of any object or living thing. As further allusion to this, pinkish white petal-like particles form at then and swirl away from the parts, sprout and vanish, as well as around the user itself. The fruit's major strength, as demonstrated by Nico Robin, is the ability to sprout multiple body parts on any surface including the user's own body, the exception being sea stone. With this ability, the user can take on many attackers by using many sprouted limbs, since the user is practically the only one who knows where their limbs will sprout at, and they have the element of surprise on their side, meaning that unless an opponent is incapable of being held, or like through the Logia Devil Fruit powers, any opponent that faces the user is practically defenseless against them. As she claims to Pell, speed and strength mean nothing to her, as she can render almost any foe into submission with ease, even those with superhuman speed such as Hakuba. Additionally, the fruit's powers are capable of affecting many foes simultaneously, giving great offensive capabilities. For defense, Robin can conjure traps, shields, or barriers with a multitude of her limbs. By sprouting eyes or ears in strategic places, the fruit's powers can also be used for gathering intelligence. Before the time skip, Robin was capable of sprouting up to 100 arms at once. At this apex of power, she could use each hand created to support each other and meld together, thereby allowing her to create larger hands out of many to take on more powerful and larger foes. This aspect also makes Robin much more versatile as it allows her to form more intricate patterns with her sprouting limbs like Shin, Fleur, Wing, and Big Tree. The only pattern to show any time limit that was seen with the Shin, Fleur, Wing, as it required great effort to maintain altitude, resisting gravity and gaining forward momentum. After the time skip, Robin's duplication ability has grown to the point of being able to sprout up to 1,000 body parts at once, melding them into gigantic limbs. She has also gained the ability to create a full body clone of herself. Unlike the rest of her abilities, her clone is also able to generate clothing, though this is an intentional discrepancy common to all Devil Fruit users for obvious reasons. The user of the Hana no Mi has a unique weakness as well. The user will receive damage to their body if the extra limbs are attacked and can feel the pain on each one of them. The disadvantage also extends to other Devil Fruits, as if her limbs are affected, then the host body is affected as well, turning her real body into a toy. The user cannot create limbs where there is not enough room, and while each part is capable of that part's normal movements, the body part itself is bound to where it was sprouted from. The strength of the user is also limited to their individual strength, meaning that the individual strength in the replicating appendages is no different to that of Robin's actual corresponding limbs. Next is we have the Dora Nami or Wax fruit, which is owned by Galdino, or better known as Mr. 3. The Dora Nami is a paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to create large quantities of candle wax from their body and control it, making the user a candle man. The major strength of the fruit, as demonstrated by Mr. 3, is that the user is able to produce candle wax from their body and mold it into any shape as they wish. When the wax hardens, it becomes as strong as steel. The wax is also resilient to certain acidity, such as the stomach acid of Bananawani and Magellan's Hydra. The user's hair becomes ignited when the fruit's power is activated, making the user resemble a candle. The fire does not harm the user though. A piece of hardened wax can be broken by being struck with another piece of hardened wax, causing both pieces of wax to crumble. Despite its density, the wax will still melt if exposed to flames or heat, including the fire burning on Mr. 3's head. Also, with the user being a candleman due to the fruit's powers, placing the user in an environment with a significant amount of heat can greatly weaken them as a result. Other than that, the user is also affected by standard devil fruit weaknesses. And that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you liked it and you enjoyed and you learned something from this video, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like this video, and press that like button and share this video as well. And don't forget to please watch part 2 too. I will be uploading it very soon. So yeah, bye, years.